Welcome to the Business Shop Podcast, where our guests speak on meeting the challenges of entrepreneurship, as well as offer tips and advice on business, marketing, technology, and more. Whether you are a newbie or a seasoned professional, this episode is for you. I am your host, Audrey Wiggins. Let's chop it up. Welcome to the Business Shop Podcast, where our guests speak on meeting the challenges of entrepreneurship, as well as offer tips and advice on business, marketing, technology, and more. Whether you are a newbie or a seasoned professional, this episode is for you. I am your host, Audrey Wiggins. Let's chop it up. Hello, Chop Squad. Your host here, Audrey Wiggins, and I'm excited again to be with you. And I'm excited about our guest today, Pamela Coleman. And she's coming from us from Greater Cleveland, Ohio. And I'm excited to share her business with you today and how maybe her business can help you or someone in your family or someone that you know. So this is a little different angle here today. Pam founded Office on the Go, and what she does is she's been taking care of her mom for over 20 years. So Pam started, as she stated, she started a business as a way to take care of her mom. The seniors have need some help sometimes, like going through paperwork and different things like that. So this was a great business and a way for her to get started. So in a way, it was a blessing. You know, her mother blessed her to be able to create something like this, helping with benefits, and then wondering how people would need to help and interview, and caring for their mom or other family member. And that's actually how Office on the Go got started. And she has a few examples of how she's helped people, which she's going to share with us later on in our interview today. We're going to take a quick break and come back after this commercial. What will your business look like on January 1st, 2025? Join us for 60 Days to Success. It's the Elevating You Entrepreneur Business Summit, November 2nd, 2024. Visit bit.ly/elevatingyou fourth quarter 2024. That's bit.ly/elevatingyou, the letter U, the number 4, TH quarter 2024. All right, we're back now with Pamela Coleman. Welcome to the Business Shop.
Thank you so much. I'm grateful for this opportunity.
Yes, absolutely. So we're excited to learn more about how we can care for our one of our most vulnerable populations over here in the U.S. So I appreciate the work that you do, and happy to share that you help seniors with their paperwork and they find peace of mind. To get their benefits and keep them. And there's a couple examples that you had given us, one about a senior lost their SSI. You want to tell us about that story? And I think there was an IRS one too.
So it's a lady that she lost her SSI because she was in the hospital for 2 months. And so then when she got out of the hospital, she did not even know that she didn't have her benefits till she didn't get paid. So It took her almost 2 months to get her benefits back, and she is in a wheelchair. So she didn't have like the capability to go around and do a lot of what she did. And then I actually made phone calls for her, which I was able to help understand what exactly they were looking for, which was something simple. They was looking for her insurance information and some other paperwork that they said that she never submitted. And this went back and forth for a while, because sometimes, unfortunately, people don't have the patience to deal with seniors, because seniors want to take time to write things down and do all
right.
of that. And so these people sometimes get all snotty on the telephone, but throughout the process, we was able to get her money back, get her back on her thing. They needed some papers from the doctor and all kinds of stuff that they needed. Her being in a wheelchair is very limited to that. She has family, but her family was not a family that could actually assist her for various reasons. And that's where I came into the picture at and helping her with something like that. It was a long process, but in the long run, she got her money back. She was able to get back on disability. That was the only source of income that she had. What was she supposed to do? And they seemed to not care. All they wanted was what they wanted, and that was that.
Yeah, that's great. So I'm glad that you were in there to stand in the gap, because that's very important. She could have, you never know what would have, happened to her. So we don't even want to consider that, because you were sent there, to help her. Now, we had another example about someone with the IRS.
So I have a guy who has, I think this is example, but this is just one of them. I have several because I also do tax. I also do taxes as well. So he did his taxes, and many people get 401s. So he got that money in 1 year. Well, he signed up for it in 1 year, but didn't get it till the next year.
Oh,
Well, he wound up putting it basically in both years. So the 1 year that it wasn't supposed to be put in there, he went downtown or called downtown to where they help you at, and
legal
whatever
aid or
they,
one of them.
yeah, the advocate, the tax advocate. So he went down there, and they allegedly changed it to the correct year, but didn't take it out the other year. So the 1 year he wound up owing all of this extra tax money because he put it in there, although they didn't have the documentation for it. So when he tried to contact somebody to help him, they wanted $2,000.
Oh, wow.
To fix this problem. Needless to say, I fixed the problem for him. I didn't nowhere near charging for that. It was a matter of sending a letter to the IRS and amending his taxes that were done wrong, and then just going from there. And that took care of the problem. It's just when you don't know what to do, this is what happens to you.
Yeah, you don't know. You right, exactly. And it's just that's so again, can't express the importance of that. And then, us listening, to this as entrepreneurs, we're busy and we're, probably trying to help folks, too, and our families and things, slip through the cracks. So this is another important aspect of our business, or, as our entrepreneurship, life. We're not just, business owners. We have challenges and things too, and our family members do. So so thanks for for being in the gap. I know in the introduction we talked about how you got into this with your mom aging and going through her own challenges, and so you were able to fill in the gap for her and you take care of her needs as well.
So like with my mom, it's a lot of paperwork that was due, especially in the early days. I used to have to go down to the welfare office like every 6 months or so to fill out paperwork and do this just for her to keep her benefits. And the sad part about it is, if my mom didn't have somebody like me, you know, how would she get that stuff done? I think sometimes that's why a lot of people wind up being in senior cares and in nursing homes and stuff like that, because the family don't want to be bothered with all the stuff that goes with it. They don't know how to do it. It was very frustrating for me. And even if you don't have people telling you how to get the benefits that you need for your loved one, you're just going to be ready just to put them in a nursing home or whatever. But my mom is living with me, and I get lots of benefits for her because I know how to get them. And this is where I come in at for people who are caretakers. I try to tell them, try to get these benefits before you actually need them, and know what you need to do so that you can help yourself. Because a lot of them people in a nursing home, if you've ever been there, some of them don't necessarily need to be there. But if they don't have no one, it's just a hassle when they're at home because there's so much paperwork that you have to do. But this is where someone like me comes in to help you with the paperwork, to help you get somebody who could come out to see your mom, to help you get. My mom has a stair lift, they paid for it. My mom had a walk-in tub, they paid for it. My mom has a nurse's aide that come in, they pay for it. Well, how to get these benefits so that you can keep your loved one at home.
Yes, that's important. Because end of life and these years coming up like that, and our in our golden years, we do need an advocate and somebody to really, again, like I keep saying, stand in the gap for us. And so if we are caretakers, and there's probably some caretakers that are listening to this podcast, how can we get in touch with you, or if we need these services, how do we do that?
So the best way to get in touch with me is to leave me a message on my telephone. But I do have email that I have as well, and they can get in touch with me through email. Office OFFICE .plan for you. That's spelled all out PLANFORYOU @yahoo.com. That's office.plan for you @yahoo.com. Or I can always be called at 440-364-3149. And I pretty much get to my messages as soon as possible, but it's a lot of stuff that seniors need. And sometimes I think, even if you're watching this and think, I don't need this, you can just write my number down in case that time comes when you need it.
That's right.
I've actually will read documents. It's a elderly gentleman. I didn't get a chance to help him, but he was one of my tax clients that lost his home because he changed his bank account and his taxes for the home came out of there. I'm sure he got mail, but elderly people ignore their mail.
Yeah.
That's another thing that I can do. I can go through your mail. I've done that for people. I go through their mail, let them know what's important and what's not important. It's very frustrating for elderly people to have to take care of this. And if you have a family member out there that you're overseeing, go through their mail. Sometimes they don't trust you, though. And that's where sometimes somebody like me comes in at. I've actually read someone's documents and their family wanted them to do something that they didn't want to do. You know how family just would say, sign this? And that's another place where I come in at. I call that Pam's third eye. I'm the one that would just look over the documents. I tell you what it's all about. Now you make a decision if you want to sign it or not. Because it's just sad. They're losing their eyesight. They have family members that they don't trust. Sometimes for genuine reasons. Sometimes it's not. You could trust that person, but that decision is up to them. I don't tell you what to do with the documents, but I can read it over, explain it to you, what Social Security wants you to do, what the welfare wants you to do, what your family wants you to do, what's this paperwork all about. I can help go over that. I do a lot of investigation. I don't know everything, but who does? But I'm willing to do the paperwork, the footwork, make the phone call to answer the questions to help you figure out what's going on or what you need to do. So.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Pam. I really appreciate that. And what kind of insurance do you offer?
So I do life insurance. So I'm with like 2 different life insurance companies that I do life insurance with, but it's just life insurance and a lot of final expense ones. It's amazing how many elderly people do not have insurance, or how many people think that they cannot get insurance, but you can. I tell some of my clients who only can get a small amount of insurance, and some people be like, well, that's not enough. That's less that your family would have to borrow later.
Right.
So even if you can only contribute $2,000 or $3,000 to your burial, that's less that your family have to do, because funeral homes will not do anything if somebody don't sign on that dotted line that they're going to pay them back later on because you're dead. So I've seen bodies sit for weeks and weeks because people did not have insurance. I think that that's very sad, especially in the day we live in, when we'll have Apple Watches and expensive telephones, and we don't want to pay a small amount of money for our insurance. And I encourage my elderly people, if you can't afford insurance, get your family to pitch in. In the long run, they're going to have to pitch in later anyway. Right. So some of my elderly clients, they talk to their family, and each family member may give $5, $10, and then they can have a decent policy. Because don't wait till your loved one gets put in a nursing home or close to life, end of life, and then you decide they need some insurance. Right. Get it now. Ask your family members, do they have insurance?
That's it. Good advice. Well, thanks again, Pam. And CHOP Squad, make sure you contact Pam Coleman for the senior services and even life insurance if the need is there as well. And we'll see you next week. Thanks, Pam.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you for listening to The Business Doc. We hope that you were able to glean valuable information from our guests and that you will download and share this podcast. Your rating and review is much appreciated. To go deeper with our guests, please visit their website and social channels to learn more about us please visit businesschop.info or altogether.biz, where we will help you expand your brand.